Welcome back to Wire Gaming. Today we have something new to the channel, and this is a mix of, let's say, ENQUIRES and Stranded Deep, as well as Subnautica. Looks pretty damn cool. It is a survival game set on the Martian planet of Mars, and it is called Blind Descent. It's a multiplayer open-world survival adventure game where you can play co-op with up to 4 players or single player. Developed and published by Pokuch, which I think it's Pokuch, seems to have no development history that I can find, but pretty damn interesting nonetheless. We don't have a release date for this game, but what we do know it is that it's coming some point in 2025, and it's releasing into early access. Now, the good thing about this game is, unlike other survival games that we've covered that are done by indie studios, they have a very nice back catalogue of updates. This team puts out monthly updates. As you can see, there is tons and tons of work that goes into the game, and they're updating the community every single 4 weeks with news and what they've been doing over the past 4 weeks and what their progression is like, what they're going to be doing over the next few updates, which is really quite good. It started off relatively small, but they've slowly started to up their player base, their wish lists and interest in what they're doing. Each update note seems to have more likes than the last one, which is great news. Now, it gives me very, very deep Subnautica feel to it, and obviously on ground, and it is set in 2071. You're tasked with finding a pioneer team who went missing whilst exploring a new open mine on Mars. You and a few team members will begin descending into the 10-mile-deep Martian cave. During the descent, the elevator crashes and only a few of you survive. You have no communication with the surface, and there's no sign of the lost pioneer team that you've been sent for. You must move through the tunnel and see something that you've never expected. A subterranean world right beneath Mars, full of alien life and surrounded by dense jungles and bizarre weather. So the key points of the game are pretty damn simple. You will explore Mars for a lost team. You'll have its own ecosystem underneath the Martian surface, filled with aliens, jungles, and its own unique weather system. We'll be unraveling the secrets of the Martian underground while exploring the vast, formidable environments. Experience full freedom of exploration whilst enjoying the game's unique and new mechanics. Now, many indie survival titles say they've got unique and new mechanics, whilst a lot of them do not have that. It is a lot of assets, but this does look relatively cool, and I do like the idea of this. It's got a little bit more of a cartoony feel to it, as you can see in the trailer in the background. There's also some really cool screenshots as well, which we'll go through now quickly and just have a look. Now, what I really like about this is, as you can see, it is vast, it's open, but there's always going to be these cave tops above you, but it's still going to have its own weather system. So how that's going to work, I'm not too sure, but I do like the look of it. It looks very lush, very sort of light, vibrant, which is where this sort of cartoony elements do come into it. But some of the atmospheres and biomes that we'll be coming across, they do look pretty, they all look pretty, which is a shame, because everything's trying to eat you, as you can see by the big giant Venus plant. Now, the game does come with its own base building system, as you've seen in the screenshots and in the trailer in the background. It looks relatively simple, doesn't look too complex, but it also has a nice bit of decoration to it. So it's not just slap up a 4x4 wood shack and then live. You'll be able to actually decorate it, make it your own, make it look pretty, make it feel comfortable and vibrant. Now, you'll be able to progress through a story, and that is how we'll be able to improve our crafting and weapons. There's an energy source, which you can send to your printer and signal booster, which has establishing a connection to the surface, so you can let people know that you're still alive. Now, I'm assuming this printer is going to be some form of 3D printer, where we'll be able to 3D print various parts and equipment that we're going to need to use. How that's going to work, not 100% sure. Maybe, like I said at the beginning, maybe some sort of Subnautica-esque stuff to go through. But the key features are, as well as obviously the base building, the crafting and exploration, we're going to need to be surviving. So we're going to need to find our own food, water, resources to build and craft various tools, and some of those tools will allow us to progress further into the subterranean cave system. So we'll be going to dangerous dungeons and cave systems which are even further down beneath the surface, to get various rare resources which will help us progress further through the later areas of the game and help us climb into various areas across the map which may be blocked by certain things and you may need tools to get past them. We're going to go through the story and unlock the mysteries of the fate of the missing pioneer team, building our own home along the way with furniture, crafting tools, and much more to our advantage, which is good news. Finding the pioneer team is going to be a key part of the storyline, and you will be able to do that solo or with up to 4 friends. And when it comes to the development history of the game, as we can see, I've already shown in the background, they've got tons and tons of stuff, but what I do like is the most recent one with a whole map implementation system. Now, as you can see, this map implementation, how this is going to translate into a player, I'm not 100% sure. We could be a tiny speck, we could be something a little bit bigger. But as you can see, we've got a big open lake there and then a smaller one down the bottom. It does very much give me the Subnautica feel, just the hotbar at the bottom, HP and food and stuff on the back. But it looks quite cool. There's going to be tons of quests which they are currently reworking, and the game will also have a boat. So that's going to come in handy against those big old lakes that we've come across. How big the map is going to be, we have no news on that yet. But I'd imagine if we're getting a boat and some sort of rideable enemies, well, not rideable, but rideable creatures. I don't know if they are rideable, but they are working on several friendly and enemy creatures. So whether the friendly creatures are going to be coming in handy in some form of crafting, or maybe just having your own sustainable farm, not 100% sure on how that's going to work. It would be cool if we've got some sort of rideable mount that we can use on the actual terrain itself, but I don't know whether they'll be doing anything like that yet. Now, this is the November update anyway, the stuff that we're covering in this one, obviously the boat and the map that I've just shown you, but we have no news yet on what is coming for December. This was released at the start of November on Friday the 8th, so about 2 weeks ago at the time of recording this video. So hopefully we'll see something new in the next week or so, and see maybe even a release date. We don't have a release window at all, but judging by what we've seen so far on all of this, the notes that I've read through most of them, there's a lot of stuff going on. They're making good progress between each patch note, which is good news, and I don't know if they're coming up with any problems or if there's going to be any sort of playtest. There's no news on that on any of these update notes, but I do think, judging by everything that I've seen so far, we could see sort of mid-2025 for an early access release. It looks relatively ready. Obviously, they're reworking some of the quest lines, so whether those quest lines were an issue or they just didn't make sense with how the game's shaping up now, not 100% sure, because they've not had player feedback as of yet. They've not done any open tests or anything, not that I'm aware of. There may be some sort of closed testing available, but not 100% sure on that one. But still, looks pretty cool. Very excited to see this. Definitely Subnautica feels to it, so that's something that really catches my attention. But what do you guys think? Do you like the look of the game? Let me know in the comments down below. Is Blind Descent something you're going to be playing? Let me know in the comments. For now, we're going to wrap that one up there. I've been Wyatt. You've been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back very soon with some more survival.